So we're down here in Mount Somers and we're talking to Dick about the wastewater treatment system. So do you want to tell us a bit of history about the product?
Well, we came to represent it because we were installing complicated systems with computers and pumps and compressors, and I wasn't happy with that, and I came across this on the internet, and it's an American idea, and it's been in the state of New Hampshire for 30 years, developed by an American who was a drain layer and looked for the same reason for something simple that would do the job that complexity was otherwise doing. So we were able to get the New Zealand rights for it, and I'd been involved in civil engineering work for 25, 30 years before, and so it seemed like a progression to be able to work in the wastewater field with a bit of small equipment after winding back from a larger scale that I was involved in. So that's how I came to be involved, and this suits my philosophy of putting something in and being able to forget about it. The people that own it can forget about it too.
Just explain how the system works.
Well, it's a secondary wastewater treatment system. It's been extensively tested in North America and in Australia, and you get an advanced secondary level of treatment. So all wastewater treatment systems involve some sort of settlement tank at the beginning of them. Like a septic tank is normally what you are used to, and so this involves a septic tank, but just a local septic tank. It's from a local manufacturer, and then from that septic tank the effluent flows into these AES pipes, which are basically a microorganism habitat. They're conditioned for being a comfortable place for microorganisms to live, and you get aerobic microorganisms living in there, because that's what you need to get secondary level of wastewater treatment. And they are able to have their aerobic life cycle, if you like, without having pumps or compressors to push air into them. You've got a passive airflow through the pipes. The effluent that leaches out of the AES pipes then goes into a thickness of coarse sand, just concrete sand, local sand, and then passively disperses into the underlying ground. That's the normal, simple setup.
So you're the man to see when you install these the wastewater systems?
Yep, AES systems and that. Done quite a few around Canterbury, Mid Canterbury and South Canterbury. Yeah, pretty good system to go in. No costs involved really once the tank's installed. Just an annual check to make sure she's good. Yeah, and pretty good all around Canterbury really.
So Brendan, these piping here, how do they sort of briefly work?
Pretty much they're 4 metre lengths put together by a coupling. You then basically make sure that the filters and everything are continual run through, so that the whole system can then basically breathe and grow the bacteria for your secondary treatment. You've got your biofilter here, which basically is what your bugs and everything live off of. And then it's encased with a geotextile cloth to prevent anything entering, but will allow the liquids and that to perforate through for your sands and everything.
Awesome. So what's the sort of the final process now? Do they put the sand in, obviously, and then cover it up with topsoil?
Pretty much on this particular one here, because it's a gravity-fed system, we'll build up the sand, and then there'll be a layer of textile cloth to go over the top, just to prevent anything going back into that bed there. And then it's just a wee mound over the top, a bit of signage to say it's an effluent field, and then just tied it up for the owner and left as neat as we can.
Cool. And Dick, the design process, has everything gone to plan with that?
Yes, the designer who put this particular plan together is actually based on the West Coast. But the design has gone, I think, appropriately been constructed here today under Brendan's supervision and a little bit of manual help from me, but just a bit of walking on the sand.
Yeah.
It's quite a big system, this one though. It's bigger than you would normally expect for a 3-bedroom house. It's probably designed around 1,400 litres of wastewater a day, so it would be a 7 or 8 bedroom size house installation, and I think the owners wanted to do that because they plan on putting another dwelling on this property, and so they've sized the field so that they can just hook another accommodation unit onto it without having to enlarge it.
Well, thanks guys for showing us this lovely system, and yeah, if you guys are interested at home, get in touch with the guys and they'll sort you out.